Welcome to Whiskey One, the channel for the novice, the curious, and the connoisseur. And if you're like me, you probably have a trash palate, but we're going to get into that. So stick around. All right, Whiskey fam, we're going to have another fun time shooting a Is Your Palate Trash or Is It Gold session. I have my friends Nick and John. We just got through shooting a awesome video that I hope you guys check out, reviewing the different blood oaths. I don't want to get into that and spill the details, but you definitely got to check it out. We'll leave a mark here for you guys to check it out up top. Yep. And today, if you've followed us in the past or seen one of our previous videos, you know what we're going to get into. But basically, we have 3 blind whiskeys. And this time I got three distinguished gentlemen here. We each contributed a whiskey blind. My wife poured them individually into these glasses, and the goal today is, number 1, if we can pick out which category of whiskey it is, 2, the proof between 40 to 50, 50 to 60, or 60 and above, and if we can actually call out the brand that it is. That's the goal. The other thing too is if you can actually figure out the exact bottle that this is, you get bonus points. You will get bonus points. I don't know how good we'll be, but hopefully your palate, as well as ours, will not be trash trying to pick which ones these are. So I'm eager to get into it. I hope you guys are too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have to redeem myself.
I am known for having the best palate south of Iceland, so hopefully I can prove it today.
And I'm north of Iceland, and he's west of Iceland. So I think between the 3 of us, we got it covered. We'll see. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to start with the one on the right. So one of the qualifiers is that it has to be something that we would typically find or we've tasted.
Supposed to be available.
Yep. It's supposed to be readily available, something like that.
Somewhat.
Yeah. So cheers. Okay. Man.
It's a little malty.
A little malty.
A little spicy.
Reminds me of an ice cream truck.
Chocolate ice cream.
Chocolate ice cream. You guys might be able to pick it up on the mic. I don't know, but there is an ice cream truck right outside. This is spicy. Uh-oh. Spicy. There's a good amount of acidity, sourness to it. Reminds me of Grateful Goat.
Grateful Goat?
Prideful. Prideful Goat is what it was.
Prideful Goat. Not the Grateful Goat.
Yeah.
Grateful Goat is the
Shows you how much I drink.
The one we didn't eat is the Grateful Goat.
Yeah. He got passed over.
Definitely not a bourbon.
Yeah, no, I'm
definitely not a rye, or is it definitely a bourbon?
I don't know. I'm from the nose. I'm guessing like an American single malt, but
Really?
could be a rye.
If it is a single malt, it was probably aged. It was secondary aged, but this is not an American single malt. I don't think it is. Hopefully I'm not completely wrong on that.
Rye I'm getting on the nose.
Yeah, it feels more
It's
rye.
a little herbal.
It is herbal, spicy. It's got a lot of green notes. So when I think of rye or drink rye, it feels like fresh cut grass, eucalyptus, some baking spices. Feels green. I don't know why the color comes to mind, but that's what it reminds me of.
Just fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
A little bit of bubble gum. That's when I get a little bit of bubble gum, to me that's rye.
All right, so cheers.
Cheers.
That's rye, man. This feels like Whistle Pig. This feels like Whistle Pig. This might be a Whistle Pig 10-year, probably, or it could be. It feels like Whistle Pig. A lot of eucalyptus, almost Canadian rye.
I definitely agree with the rye, but I do not think it's Canadian. I don't think it's Whistle Pig. Whistle Pig is a little bit sweeter than I usually pick up on.
I could see that. Maybe it's not Canadian rye. Maybe it still is. It could be a Templeton rye. But it's a rye. That's my guess. This guy right here is a rye. I'm not sure who brought it, but it's a rye. I would rule it out as a bourbon.
It's a good rye. I'd drink more of it.
I like it though. It does remind me of Whistle Pig. I don't know about you guys.
I can see the little Whistle Pig notes.
This is feeling like 50%, between 50 to 60. I don't think it's between 40 to 50, but who knows? I could be way off. It's got a good amount of burn to it, some heat. So that's why I'm guessing it's
Not
like
till
50.
after. You drink it and it's really smooth and clean, and then after you could feel it, it just stays, that heat hangs on.
That's kind of how ryes treat you though. They kind of sneak up on you. All right, so on to number 2. And quick shout out to the Albuquerque Whiskey Society. That's the Glencairns we're drinking out of for number 2. Ooh, I like this one. I like this one a lot.
Okay, no, this one has more of a malty flavor. That other one was definitely...
Are you trying to inject ideas in our heads?
Possibly.
It could be. You know what? It could be.
It makes the first one definitely. I mean, I think we already pretty much established that it was a rye, but after smelling the next one, that first one's a rye.
And this feels more
Like, right before I smelt this one, I was still kind of like half convinced this one could have been a single malt.
Gotcha.
And obviously my palate is trash because...
Maybe just your nose.
maybe just my nose.
Maybe, yeah. This is too oaky and too nutty to be a rye.
I agree. This could be a bourbon also.
Cheers, guys.
Bourbon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Here we go. That is an American single malt. It's not a bourbon and it's not a rye. And I know you're trying to fool me. I bet you this is yours. I'm willing to bet he brought an American single malt and he's trying to mess with us. I feel like I might have tasted this before. I'm gonna take another sip, but I don't think it's a rye. No, I don't think it's a bourbon. And it's between 40 and 50% alcohol. It's not a super strong American single malt. Now that the more I keep tasting, the more I'm like, yeah, that's an American single malt. What about you guys?
American single malt. It reminds me of. It's got a little bit of like Stranahan kind of notes to it to me.
Right.
I might say 50 to 60. The first one.
You're gonna go 50, 60?
60 plus.
Okay, so first one I'm going to say I think is a rye. I think it's probably like 110 proof. Second one, yeah, I think this is a single malt. I think it's probably closer to like the 100 proof.
Oh man.
It does still leave a little bit of that burn in the mouth, that residual burn that just kind of hangs around a little. Almost a cinnamony kind of feel to, even hangs on the teeth and like around the actual.
This first one, I feel like is this like a Starlight possibly, the Starlight rye.
Could be.
And the second one,
It's a little light on the color for a Starlight though. Starlights are dark, like this third one. I'm still sticking with the American single malt, but because you call it Stranahan's, it feels close to it. But it could be a Westland American single malt. It could be a Stranahan's.
Never had Westland, but a Colorado single malt?
It
Is that
feels like a
cheating? Can I say
Colorado.
that?
Yeah, absolutely, you can. And if it was Colorado,
is Westland Colorado or are they up in Washington?
Westland is Washington.
Okay.
Westland's Washington. But I'm going to weigh more towards Westland and that this is an American single malt.
And I think we have a bourbon coming up.
Maybe.
Based on the color.
Maybe, but
But it could be anything.
It could be anything. It really could be. I don't want to give anything away.
Yep.
All right, so on to sample number 3. And before we get in, I'm going to do a quick shout out to a couple supporters of the channel who rarely send samples. I've been like behind, but I do want to do a quick shout out to some of the supporters. Like I said, Mike Pierce, Chris, and Eric. Thank you guys for supporting and always like chatting it up with us and sharing your thoughts with the channel. Really appreciate all the support. So let's dive into number 3.
Peanut brittle. We haven't used that for a long time, huh?
Peanut brittle.
Peanut brittle.
Yeah.
We always go butterscotch or stuff like that, but this one's...
I think this is a rye
peanut.
too. I think this one's a rye. Could be a bourbon, could be a high, I don't know. Could be a high rye.
Off the nose, it's tough to tell.
It's very light. It's very light on the nose.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Very caramel forward.
Caramel forward, yeah. But I don't know
It's
if
a
you
rye.
guys
It's an
feel it.
older finished rye.
I don't know if you guys
It's an
feel
older finished rye.
it. Do you feel like any vanillas or like molasses?
Yeah, a little bit like
sweetness
the
comes through?
vanilla bean, vanilla skin.
A little coffee? I get a little coffee bean, a little dark chocolate.
I get the dark chocolate.
I'm almost thinking that this is a rye. This feels more rye than bourbon. Let's dive in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good.
Rye.
That is rye. That's rye. I've had this before. I know. I'm going to let you guys guess first, though.
I'll let Nick guess first because I think this is the one I brought.
Yeah? This is the one you brought?
I think so.
What do you think? He's going to do a double take.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of rye notes. It reminds me of an Angel's Envy rye, but way less sweet. Because those ones are extremely sweet.
Now, I like Angel's Envy rye.
Me too,
This,
but it's
to
a
me,
candy bomb.
flat out not the Angel's Envy rye.
It has
that
the
one-
notes, but toned down, like not as sweet.
Okay.
A little more hot.
A little more hot.
I'd say this one's 50 to 60.
This one's 50 to 60. That's my guess too. 50 to 60.
Yeah, I'll put this in.
I can't pin down what this is. Though.
105.
It's
I'm
like
struggling.
a caramelly rye.
Do you guess what? I think it's rye.
Yes,
Do you guess?
rye.
Okay, rye.
Right.
Rye. Any brands? And you said 50 to 60, 50 to 60.
105. Yeah.
50 to 60. Any guesses on the brands? Because I'm gonna guess, but I'm gonna wait till you guys.
I'm gonna wait for you.
I think it might be mine.
Oh, you think it's
I think
yours?
it's the one I
I think
picked.
it's mine.
Okay,
So,
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
what do you think, Nick? You got a guess on this?
On the brand,
Yeah.
maybe a Michter's rye.
Michter's rye. I didn't think about that, and I got juxed the last time. I thought so much that it was a bourbon, and I was like, it's a bourbon, and it ended up being a rye. Now that you say that, I think this guy might have brought if this is yours, and I think he
do it
brought
twice.
a Michter's rye. I think he brought a Michter's rye. And it's in the 50 to 60 range. But you're thinking Michter's?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So my guess on it, I guess I'll give a spoiler of what I brought. Buzzard's Roost. I'm sorry, this is a Buzzard's Roost, just their
snap.
standard rye.
Does this feel like MGP rye? Does it feel like MGP rye? Because you're
That's
really
MGP.
into-
Go. Man, that first one still tastes like a single malt.
I think you're right. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that one. I think this is a sourced MGP rye. Couldn't tell you what brand though, but I want to guess that the proof or the alcohol is 50 to 60%. That's my guess. What about you? Last guess?
50 to 60.
50 to 60. Do you want to guess brand, or do you feel like it's an MGP too? You sticking with Michter's?
Yeah.
And you're sticking with Buzzard's Roost?
MGP Buzzard's
He's probably
Roost.
giving it away. It probably is. All right, so now we're going to do the big reveal.
But I know what it is.
Okay, so this one was yours.
No, I'm putting them by the cups that they.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
They reverse, really?
Oh, this here?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Dang, completely
I
wrong.
was going to guess, but I think I'm right. I think I'm right
Completely
still.
wrong.
Okay. All right. All right, folks. So my wife has revealed exactly what they are. So the first one is
Not Balcones.
not Balcones, but it's a
Alberta Premium Cask Strength Rye. 63.7.
I guess Canadian rye.
You did.
I was close. I was close.
63.7. So it's
Nice.
it's high.
Nice. I don't feel so bad.
I'm glad. I was hoping
Is it
someone
62%?
63.7.
Wow. I almost
I was-
said 110. So
I was hoping somebody would say Whistle Pig because I want everybody to know that Alberta Premium is a way better buy.
Okay, so real quick before we proceed, whose palate is trash? Did you guess that this was a Canadian rye or
I guessed
or
that
rye?
I guessed that it was a rye, and I guessed that it was 110 proof. So
Okay. Yeah, but you didn't. But did you guess the brand at all?
I said Starlight.
Starlight.
Yeah,
Okay.
so-
My pick was that this was a rye, 50 to 60%, and it was Canadian. I still think that it was Whistle Pig because Whistle Pig sources a lot of Canadian rye, but I was
Yeah.
close enough. So I think ours is still gold Gold Palate. And then
got
did you
that
guess?
I knew it was mine. I said 60 plus proof. I didn't want to get too much into the details because
Yeah.
I knew that
You
was.
knew that was yours. Okay. All right. So then
that's
your
Gold
palate is.
Palate.
I was going to say trash, but okay. Just kidding. You guys let us know. Is his palate trash or gold? I'm kidding. All right. So number 2, we both. I think all 3 of us guessed single malt.
Yes.
Did we guess 40 to 50?
I said
guessed
50 to 60. You said 40.
I said 40 to 50. It didn't feel that hot. What do you say?
I said this was 110 proof.
Okay. And did you guess single malt? I can't.
I guess single malt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this yours? Well, this is yours.
That is mine. So that is not single malt.
Oh shoot. Okay.
This is the
Buzzard's Roost?
Buzzard's Roost. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go grab the bottle also to find out what the proof is.
Okay. Great.
Trash. Because this is a single barrel straight rye whiskey. This is 105 proof.
Trash palette here.
So I was
trash
off.
palette there. I think actually all 3 of us are trash.
We all
palette
said
on
single malt.
We
I got
all
the
said
proof.
single malt. Yeah. It's 105 proof.
2 of us got the proof, me and John.
Yeah. Well, I said 110. I mean, I guess you can count me in that range.
50
for
to
it,
60, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we both, actually, we all 3 failed on number 2. So let's go on to number 3. This one was mine. And what did you guys guess?
I guess this was a rye. I guess this was mine. So
I guess it was a rye.
Michter's Ryes was my
Okay. And proof. What was the proof point? It is a rye, by the
50
way.
to 60.
I said
50 to
105.
60.
So it's
50 to 60. And then you guessed Michter's. You guessed Buzzard's
MGP.
Roost. And, well, you guys are wrong on the last part as far as the brand. So, this little
God, that's what I couldn't.
I wanted to say, but I felt like I would be giving it away. It is the Sagamore Spirit Double Oaked.
That's like my favorite.
It is such a
too.
treat.
That's
It's
my
such a treat.
favorite. That's my favorite.
But I guess the proof, 50 to 60, that it was a rye and that it was MGP. I did not want to say Sagamore Spirit because
That's the brand I
did-
couldn't remember the name of.
I
but
didn't want to give it away, but I did agree that it was MGP.
Yep.
Because the more
it's
we
the
talked
double
about
oaked
it,
also.
yeah, it was.
That's their best. The double oaked. If you people don't have this right now,
Yeah.
go and buy it.
It's so
the
good.
best.
So basically, I have Gold Palate Trash Brain because I couldn't remember Sagamore Spirit.
I would agree. Do you guys agree? Drop a comment below. So what's interesting is this guy. So number 2 and number 3 are
both.
sourced MGP whiskey, or specifically rye, and they tasted very different.
So
very different. So that goes to show you that, okay, you get a whiskey from a particular brand, but then whatever you do with it afterwards could totally change things.
I can't believe we did 3 ryes because none of us knew what each other was going to bring, and to
Right.
all bring ryes. I was like, I'm going to bring a rye, so it'll be different.
I was really close to doing a Scotch, but I kind of fear that Scotch is so easy to pick out.
Yes.
It would
so
help you
different.
redeem your palate for sure.
It would have. All right. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys if you agree whether my palate is trash or gold.
Mine trash. I'm gonna vote myself trash for
You're gonna
this
vote
one.
trash? The number 2, definitely, I agree. I should have gotten that one, but I didn't.
Yeah.
What about you? Would you say your own palate is trash or gold?
For on Patreon, I'm Trash Palate, so I guess I'll stick with that. And go with trash, even though I think I'm undergrading myself. But
He is
I'll
my
go with it.
sole trash palette Patreon. So if you
Rest of
guys want to support the channel, you definitely got to check us out. I'll leave a link here in the video to join our Patreon. We have different tiers. Trash palette, of course, being the lowest rung. It doesn't surprise me. But definitely would love your support. Either way, whatever you guys...
Every little bit helps.
Yeah, every little bit helps. We're definitely branching out and trying new stuff. If you're a first-time sipper, you've never been to the channel before, hopefully you like what we got. And we definitely try to do some fun things with you guys. And this is definitely the branching out of the channel. Normally I sit and I review like one whiskey, but I've been doing different stuff. Here at Whiskey One, I'm going to go with number 2 because I can't believe it like really tricked me. Hopefully here you guys appreciate what we're doing, and you can to follow along and have just as much fun as we are having. So
At least half as much fun.
half as much fun, yes.
Half as much whiskey.
There you go.
I hope you're having half as much whiskey as we've had today.
No kidding.
Here at Whiskey One, it's about the one you enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers.
Shut up and sit down.
I'm so happy you said Whistle Pig because I wanted somebody to say Whistle Pig at the Alberta Premium.
Now it does taste like rye.
good whiskey.
Now it does taste like rye. God dang it.
It was so in between.
It really was.
That
I don't
was a
know
tough
why
one.
I